Down in Tasmania, another Church of England minister, not with 38 witnesses, but at least with his wife, saw in the daytime a mothership accompanied by scout ships, in other words a cigar shape with discs. It was in a storm cloud, obviously thought that it was well and truly hidden, except it temporarily missed the storm cloud and was in view, and they looked at it through the church windows, would you believe, actually. There were several other reports in the area at the time, but that was the main one. So the Air Force went there, the Australian Air Force, and their contemptible explanation was that they were clouds. The Wandjina, a drawing from past history, of which there are many in Australia, shows in fact that Australian Aborigines for thousands of years have been better observers than the Australian Air Force. But when you see images of the sizes of planets in our solar system and the relative sizes of our sun compared with the huge giants that are out there, remember that they're fitted on the page so that you can appreciate those sizes. But the reality is the distance between them is absolutely unbelievable. In other words, if you had a planet the size of an orange in our solar system and you wanted to put the neighbour, Venus, right, it would be somewhere in Western Australia. So that'll give you an idea of proportion of sizes. It's pretty big out there. And for that very reason, it's been very difficult for most people to comprehend the ability to travel those distances. But we know that UFOs are here, and just because we can't do it, and more especially because we don't know how it's done, it doesn't give us the right to deny it. Our telescopes up until recently had to project themselves through a deep, dirty atmosphere which gave them enormous distortions. But now, of course, we've got the Hubble telescope drifting out there, and recently they focused the Hubble telescope on a part of the sky that was totally black. In other words, there was nothing obvious there. And after 2 days, when they examined the films, they recorded 600 billion galaxies. Right? Now, it was focused out on the equivalent of a pinhead held at arm's length. So a pinhead at arm's length in the darkest point of the sky would give you that much. There's no beginning and no end. And of course, that's, if you have trouble getting your head around the fact that there's no end out there, it also applies to time. There's no beginning and no end. And it also is inner space. So if I cut this book in half, it doesn't matter how many times I cut it in half, I'm always going to have half left. So you can't get your head around that, so don't try. And the concept of the Big Bang, as far as I'm concerned, is a lot of nonsense. It's just a finite mind trying to come to grips with the infinite, and we can't. Look, that's just home, and it's lovely to see a picture of home, isn't it? And isn't it a tragedy that we don't take care of it better? It really is an indictment on all of us in every respect, all through history, that one of the most beautiful planets in our solar system is being contaminated by human beings.